I am Rajesh and I am having around 14 plus years of experience in retail and fashion. So, since you are not conversant with S4, there are few things which I would like to highlight, which are unique in S4 and not present in ECC at all. Uh, and Starting with SD, so the customer concept, the vendor concept in ECC has changed quite a bit in S4. Meaning, let's take a simple example of customer. Now, when you want to create a customer in ECC, the only thing that you need is a account group along with the company code details, sales or distribution channel, all those details. Now, the same thing in S4 will need something called business partner. So there is a concept called business partner which has been introduced in SAP in S4HANA, and that is mandated for the purpose of customer and vendor creation. Okay. Now, business partner is not something totally new in SAP. It was already there. The only thing that SAP has done as it has mandated in S4. So whether you want to create a customer or vendor along with the account group, you are also going to need a business partner. Okay. So this I am telling you because in the master data where we have the equivalent of plant in retail, which is known as stores and distribution centers, we will see a use case of these business partners. That is why I mentioned this priorly. Now, let me show you the course content, meaning brief overview of the topics that we are going to cover, and then I will give you a short demo in the system as well. So give me a second. I will share my screen in a while. Yeah, let me know if you can see my screen. I have shared my screen, and there is a deck which I am presenting. So you are able to see the presentation, right? I will just quickly run through
Yes,
it and I will show
yes,
you.
now I see the presentation, yes.
So the key processes which we'll be covering is the master data, which will comprise of the distribution center and store setup in SAP S4HANA. Then we will look into something called assortment listing, which is a unique and exclusive process in SAP retail, wherein we are linking a product to a store. Now, this is over and above to your Marcy extension or MBKE extension. So, listing is a unique process through which it is controlled which products will be sold and procured in which stores or DCs. Example, the latest iPhone series 16 cannot be sold in every store. Let's take a very random example. It should be only placed in certain stores which are located at better areas, better economically developed areas like malls, like supermarkets where the customer footfall is more. So how do you control it in retail? So the way to control it is through assortment listing. Okay. Then we have retail pricing. Retail pricing is a process where let me tell you the very basics of retail pricing. It is a quite big topic, so it is quite difficult to put it in few lines, but I will try to explain the very basic principle of retail pricing. So retail pricing is basically finalizing the sales price of the product. So each and every product in retail needs to be sold, and for selling it, it requires a sales price. Retail pricing is about calculating the sales price of the product, meaning the fundamental principle behind the sales price or retail price derivation in S4HANA retail is you have a cost price from the vendor, which is let's say 100. You have procured the item from the vendor at 100, and then there is a markup that you define as 20% for that product, and then system will calculate the sales price as 120. Now there are multiple variations of this, but the basic principle of retail price calculation is cost price plus markup equal to sales price. And this is one unique process in retail where you have both and SD pricing procedures involved. So what happens generally is if you are working in SD application, you have your OBKK settings for pricing procedure determination. If you are working in area, then you have your pricing procedure determination um, uh, based on schema group vendor, schema group purchase order for external PO, and then the number of factors for STO and so on. However, retail pricing is the only unique area where you have involvement of both procedure and SD procedure. Okay. Then we will cover the promotion management. Promotion management deals with all different kinds of offers that you can imagine in a retail store, meaning the special prices, the buy one get one free, the bill value discount, the combo deals, the multi deals, whatever different offers that you can imagine in a retail environment, in a retail industry, can all be covered under promotion management. Okay. So there are examples of special prices, like your regular sales price is 100 and your special price is 80. So you can configure it through promotions. You have an offer like if the bill value is minimum, or if it is minimum 200, meaning greater than equal to 200, then the customer gets 5% off. Then it can be a slow seller management, buy a slow seller product at full price, and then you get 10% off on a popular product. So buy A and then get 10% off on B. Okay. Then we have retail supply chain management related processes. The first one is replenishment planning. Although in this slide, the sequence of allocation table is before replenishment, but for a reason I am uh, taking the replenishment planning topic first, because this is the most widely used method of predicting the future stock. Now, this is the equivalent of MRP. You just mentioned about MRP, and you said that you haven't worked with MRP, but I believe you are having some idea, basic idea about MRP. So this is a equivalent of MRP in retail industry, meaning this is about predicting your future stock based on certain factors. There are multiple factors which can be taken into consideration, and then it can be forecast based as well, meaning a prior forecast run might be required. And then based on the forecast result, the replenishment planning can run and predict the quantity. So it is all about predicting the future quantity so that the stock out situation doesn't happen at the store. Okay. Then we have POS outbound and POS inbound. So outbound, okay, no, allocation table. Allocation table is a manual way of distributing the stock to the recipients. Now, when I say recipients, the recipients are stores. So there are three distinct mechanisms in the allocation table. One is called the pool mechanism, wherein the stores doesn't have stock, and then stores will request the stock to the DC. DC doesn't have stock either, so DC in turn will request the stock to the vendor. So there will be a two-step uh, supply chain management process synchronized, which will be activated in the retail system. So in step one, the vendor purchase order will be created, and then vendor will deliver the product to the DC, and then DC will in turn supply the store demand, which is the stock transport orders. And there is a table which will hold the relationship between the PO and STO. Okay. Then allocation table, you have to remember that it is not a substitute of replenishment planning. It is an over and above to the replenishment planning, and it is a manual process. Replenishment planning is the automated process, whereas allocation table is strictly a manual driven process. Fine. Then POS outbound and POS inbound. So POS outbound is something uh, where all the master data, meaning your product code, your sales price, your promotion details, all these will be sent from SAP S4HANA retail system to the point of sale system. So what is the point of sale system? Point of sale system is the billing system. So as a customer, when you buy the product, they will go to the store and then finally you will go to the billing system and complete your transaction. So that billing system, front-end billing system, where the cashier operates is known as the point of sale system, and it runs on a third-party software. It's a non-SAP software. So the product details, the sales prices, the promotional details needs to be sent out to that front-end system, and there has to be a conversion in between, of course, because the way retail SAP retail will send the data to the point of sale system, which is the IDOC, is not compatible with the POS system. So what it will do is it will generate the IDOCs from retail S4 retail end. The IDOCs will be generated, and then the IDOCs will be converted by the middleware. There will be a middleware layer which could be SAP middleware like SAP PIPO or CPI, or it could be a non-SAP middleware like ESB or MuleSoft or ETL. So it will consume the IDOCs, and then in the output it will create the files, which could be a CSV file or XML file, which is the most popular format, and it will be compatible with the front-end billing system. Okay, so POS outbound is a process by which the master data details are sent from S4 retail system to POS, and then there is a exact opposite process called the POS inbound. So here what happens is the transactional data, the day end transactional data from the point of sale system will basically come back to the SAP S4 retail system. So at the POS, the transactions are happening, meaning the quantities, the values, all these details are getting captured as a part of the transactions that are happening at the front-end billing system. And all these details, these sales data, the quantity, value, all these needs to come back to the SAP S4 retail system. Now, this is absolutely important because unless this transactional data comes back to SAP S4 retail system, the inventory will not get updated, and also the revenue tax account will not get updated. So POS outbound, inbound process are the communication to and from SAP to POS system. One is for the details that are required for the front-end billing system to sell the product, and the other one, POS inbound, is to ensure that the inventory is getting updated, plus the revenue tax accounts are also getting updated. Okay, so these are the key processes in SAP retail that we will cover. Now the course content which Naveen will share will have all these key processes and the sub processes under it. Okay, so that is the entire details that we'll be covering in the course content. Okay. Any questions as of now? Now I will log into the system and show you some details around the functional process, a bit of an overview. But before that, any questions that you may want to ask now? Hello.
No, it's okay.
Fine. So now I will log into the system. Give me a second.
Sorry, I have just one question. We will see also the material in retail because I understood
Exactly.
that yes, it's different. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So the master data slide. If I can elaborate the master data slide, give me a second. I have reshared. So this retail master data will comprise of the retail material and the retail plant. So this is what is the content within the retail master data. We are going to see the retail master, material master, which is also known as article master, the retail site master, and the associated customer and vendor with the site. So these all we are going to cover under master data.
Okay,
And
so just one question. In retail, we will create the finished good and also the raw materials as an article.
no,
As in, or we have no.
in retail we will create only the trading goods. So the article type that we use in retail is trading
The
goods.
finished. So it's the
Yeah.
finished good.
Equivalent of finished goods. Yes, you can say in that way. But
Okay, and if we have raw materials, so we will create them as a retail or with MM01.
MM01. If you have raw materials, then I mean technically you can still create. I mean whatever material type that you see in MM01 are also appearing under MM41. So this list and this list doesn't have any difference. Okay, it is the same basically. Now, if you have now the question is in retail, why you will have raw materials in retail? That's the question I have. I mean, retailers
Because
are not.
yes,
Hmm,
no, because if I have if I have an industry who are retail and also manufacturing, so she's managing raw materials, but also
okay.
she transform the raw material to the finished good, and then she do the retail. So she's
Okay.
both. So how can I manage?
Yeah. So in that case, you use MM40 and then you use ROH here. Yes. So if you are using retail along with manufacturing, then you must use MM41, not MM01. MM01 is only for manufacturing. Only for both manufacturing and retail, it is MM41.
So in my case, it's MM41 because it's retail and manufacturing. She doing both.
Okay. Any
Yes.
further questions? Okay. So the finished products, we call them as trading goods in retail, which will be actually sold to the customer, end customer. And one important point to note here is we have the concept of material. So material group concept you have in manufacturing, it is there in the basic data, but it is not mandatory. So in retail, this is mandatory because in retail, there are huge number of products. Now, from the reporting perspective, if there are so many products, it becomes difficult to run the reporting based only on product code or material code. So there is a higher level required, and material group is the higher level, the level above the material, meaning material group will group together products with similar attributes. So all your, let's say, skincare products, there can be 200 different or 300 different skincare products, but they are all related to skin. So you can have a common group, which is not as material group, and you need to create those in before, and then it has to be created in this manner. Then you can reuse them here. And then there is a concept called material category in retail. Like you can see there are multiple options, singles, generic, cell set, prepack, display. So each one of it has its own use case. So single material are the most common in retail, which represents a stock keeping unit. So any product that you see in the shelf is a stock keeping unit. Mostly there are other variations like generic, cell set, prepack, display. Generic is almost exclusively used for fashion in retailing. The other ones have mixed use cases. Now let us create a single article very quickly. Now on the left hand side, we have the areas of validity. Now in retail, there are a couple of points to be noted in comparison to MM01. One, in retail, we can enter the supplier and purchasing org, and then we can select the purchasing org view. In that way, we can create the purchasing info record from the article master itself. It is possible. Okay. And then in retail, we have two different plants. One is DC, another is store. DC is the central hub where the products are received from the vendor, and store is the physical entity where the products are sold to the end customer. Okay, so these are part of the retail plant setup, which is quite different from the manufacturing plant setup. So this is also covered in the retail master data. Okay. So, and the organizational structure in retail is exactly same as that of manufacturing. There is no difference as such. Okay. Now, I will very quickly go through some of these views. In a demo session, it is very, very difficult to give you a detailed insight of everything. So, this basic data has quite a number of important fields like EN code. EN code is mandatory in retail. So, each and every product should have a EN code, meaning the barcode against which the product will be scanned at the front end system by the cashier. So, that code needs to be maintained here. It is mandatory. If this is not maintained, then it will fail at the POS outbound process, meaning in the communication details of POS, this will fail. Okay.
Just one question in your screen, the previous screen, for the hierarchy node. This one is the hierarchy, assignment to article hierarchy. It is linked to the material group?
No.
Or no?
So
Or it's
the
different?
hierarchy is a different one. It is not linked to a material group. So basically, all products will be by default part of the activated hierarchy. All products by default. At one point of time, you can have only one activated hierarchy, and then whatever products gets created will be by default part of that hierarchy. Now, the question is whether you need a article hierarchy or not. So here, article hierarchy has certain purpose, mainly again from the reporting point of view. Now, if you want to go for an article hierarchy, then you have to create one and activate it, and then it will appear here. Now, there is another concept of hierarchy called material group hierarchy, which is more commonly used than this hierarchy.
So
And
yes, material group hierarchy, yes.
yeah, exactly. So one product can be part of two separate hierarchies at the same time. Now, the purpose of both the hierarchies are same, reporting. One is from the business point of view. Material group hierarchy is for the business point of view. And then article hierarchy is something which is from the customer point of view. And that is why customer hierarchy is also known as customer decision tree or CDT. Now, in S4, the use case of article hierarchy is not much. It is almost negligible, but you get a lot of use case for the material group hierarchy.
Okay.
So in this client, one hierarchy is activated.
So you have the material groups of the first field that you have select when you want to create the material,
exactly.
and you have the material group hierarchy. You have the nodes, and it is
No,
something
not as of now, but I can assign the material group hierarchy here.
Okay.
Okay, I can. So this hierarchy
Okay,
is
so you
already
can
created, but I
assign the
can
material group hierarchy to the material group. Okay.
exactly I can do that.
Okay.
Yes. So hierarchy is also covered in the course content, and Naveen will share the course content with you. Now, very quickly, I will create the article without going in details of these tabs and views. Listing is basically for this assortment listing topic. So I just mentioned about this assortment listing topic. So it is possible to carry out the listing of a product from this view. Okay.
So the
let's
listing
say,
is for sales.
yes, sorry, yes. Sales and procurement both. If a product is
Okay.
not Yeah, if a product is not listed to a store, you will get an error during purchase order creation, and also your POS outbound communication process will also not happen for that particular product and store combination.
Okay, so I can do a listening by store, and then when I want to replenish the stores, so we will have a control on the listing, on the assortment that I
Exactly,
have
exactly.
activated.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. If a product is not listed, then even if you run a replenishment for that product, there will be no purchase order generated for that item because it is not listed. Okay. So here I can, from the listing view, we can get the product listed. Let's say I want to list it to R10 for this store, and then I will copy, and then the moment I save it, it will generate an entry in the WLK1 table, and then this will be considered as listed to that particular store. Okay. And there are certain reports that you can execute to check if the product is listed or not to which store. So this is the output of this report, which states that this article is listed to R104. Okay. Now, let's go to the article
Sorry,
master
just one
once more.
question. Is it mandatory in retail to do the listing for procurement, or is it
Mandatory.
mandatory?
Mandatory. Yes. Yes. If if you have created an article, then you should also list it. Unless and until you are listing an article to a store, it cannot be used for that particular store. Or if you have not listed to the article to any store, then it cannot be used in any store. Okay.
Okay.
Purchasing is about the procurement details, meaning here you basically maintain the contractual details in terms of plan delivery time and the cost price. So this will create the purchase info record in the background. So as I said, in retail, you have two options. You create the purchase info record separately in ME11, or it gets created automatically when you create the purchase info. Either of these are possible. These ways. Sales is all about your retail
And
price.
what is the difference between net sales, net price, and effective price?
So net price is the regular cost price for the article, and then effective price is the price considering the discount. So if the vendor is giving any discount, or there is any
Okay.
Incoterms, if there is any Incoterms, so it states that if there is a discount of 2%, then it will be 98. Okay. Sales is all about your retail pricing. So I mentioned that retail pricing is typically about cost price plus markup equal to the calculated sales price. So here we have the vendor cost price as 100. This is the purchase price. Okay, 100. And then I can apply a markup of 25 here. Now there is a better way of doing this. Now collectively retail pricing can be carried out in a program in VKP5. Let's do it for another article. Mm, mm, like this. So it can be collectively executed for another article. So so this is the purchase price from this vendor, and I apply a markup of 30%, and the moment I press enter, it is 130. It can be scheduled in the background as well. This is the manual execution, and then the moment I save it, it will create or update the condition record VKP0, which is the regular sales price condition in retail. Okay, and it will also create a pricing document which will keep the log. Okay. 257 pound. See, this 130. Now this price is updated in BKP0, and now it will also get considered for the store communication, meaning in the POS outbound. Okay. We'll see one cycle if possible. So similarly, this retail pricing, this VKP5 program is for mass execution. This is for mass execution. Okay. Multiple products based on material group supplier can be executed. And this can also be executed in the background. We have a program called VKPB, which is specifically for the background calculation. Now, if any client is using retail pricing, they will use VKPB or VKP5. Now, from the sales view, it can also be triggered in a unit scale only for that particular article. So if I enter 25 and press enter, you will find the final price to be calculated as 125. And if this checkbox is on, it is also going to update PKP0 in the background for this article. Okay, 274. So 125 should be updated in the background. See, now we can send the product details to the POS system, meaning we can generate a IDOC to the POS system. We can generate a IDOC. So that's part of the POS outbound.
So this IDOC is to send the price to the POS,
Exactly.
right?
Yes. So there is IDOC of IDOC type PLU02 created.
And we have in IDOCs available in S4 retail to send the material to the POS when we create a material
Here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it all goes along the same IDOC. So this is the material. This is the EN code of the material. This is the material group of the material. This is the material description. This is the VKP0, meaning the sales price. If there was any promotion, that would also part of this IDOC, same IDOC. Now, there are certain promotional cases where we use a separate IDOC, certain promotional cases. But if there is a special price offer and then there is nothing else, then that special price offer can also be accommodated within the same IDOC, which transfers the material code and description. Okay. Now, article master logistics DC, we have controls on allocation, and then we also have controlled in the replenishment. Similarly, store will have control in allocation, replenishment, and one specific case in retail pricing, which is known as two-step retail pricing. Okay. Replenishment, allocation, and only in case of store, there is an additional process which is dependent, which is having an impact point, and that is known as two-step retail pricing. Okay. Now, one important point to show you here, which is supply source. This is a very unique field in retail. Now, in manufacturing, we have something called procurement type, and procurement type controls whether a product is in-house production or externally procured. Now, in retail, we have an equivalent control called supply source. If the supply source indicator is 1, then it implies that the product has to be externally procured. And if it is 2, then it implies that the product has to be internally procured from TC. From store perspective, the supply source indicator 1 means it is a direct store delivery product from the vendor, meaning whenever a replenishment planning is run, it will create a PO from vendor to store. And then when this indicator is 2, it implies that the product has to be internally procured, meaning a STO will be created in the result of replenishment run. Okay.
And I understood that in for S4 the source list is not anymore mandatory when we do the MRP.
Yeah, MRP doesn't depend on it. It is only considered in a replenishment. Okay. Now, the POS view has one unique field, which is the POS text. So this is the short text of the material, the retail material, which will be printed on the paper receipt or which will be printed in the e-receipt. So in the receipt that the customer gets, generally the short description is printed, and that receipt comes from this particular text. Fine.
Okay, so we have always the concept of division like in ECC.
Concept of division is there, but it doesn't have any business significance in retail. So for compliance, we use a common division 00 or 01, something like that, but it doesn't have any purpose in retail. So we use a dummy division.
Okay. And for materials, so for the if our retailer is on fashion and they are managing seasons, etc.
Yeah, season management is there. If we have a season workbench where we can maintain the seasonal details per calendar year, sage underscore underscore SWB. So this is the season workbench where for a particular calendar year, let's say 2025, we can define the different seasons like summer, winter, spring, all these. Okay, and then we can also define the determination criteria for the purchase order and sales order of season, followed by a configuration that is also needed. Okay.
So the season is something that the user can manage without doesn't need customizing like in IFS.
Yeah, season is not a config activity unlike apes.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. So in demo session, I cannot cover a lot. So these are some of the highlights that I wanted to show you. So
Yes, I
how
have
I
just one question. Sorry.
yeah, tell me, tell me. Yeah, you
Sorry,
can.
it's, because I have a background in IFS, so that's why.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
IFS, that's why I am looking for the comparison. So in IFS, we managed the material freight group and also the the country of origin, the customs codes, etc. So there are something that's still in S4 fashion, in S4 HANA or not?
I don't think those are there.
It's data
Yeah,
for
please
export.
export, right? Export details in the material master. I do not remember exactly. Probably there is something. I'm not very much sure. I have to check, but maybe with material type MOTE for seasonal products, there is something addition. Let's see. No, we have only the fashion attributes. That's it. Nothing else. No, I don't think those are there in ISO. Okay. Any other questions?
So we don't have any more this kind of information in the material master?
No. I mean, did you say material grid or export?
So yes, because in my memory, so for the export material, so in we have some data that we put in the material master, but here you say that we don't have anymore this kind of material, this kind of data in S4.
Export related data, can you be a bit more precise? Because if you say
I
only
have
export,
yes, because yes, as I said, so I used to manage like a customs code, a code for customs,
uh,
and also the country of origin, and this is something
okay, I
that
understand.
was okay.
I understand. Something is there now, I recall, but probably those views are hidden or something over here. I'm not very much sure, but yes, I remember now. Yes, some part of it is there. I will probably be able to show you if I turn on those views. So those are hidden here. Probably that is the reason it is not appearing. But yes, country of origin is there, and then HS code is also there. I mean, I saw that in S4 somewhere, but I do not recall it was against which material type. I do not recall. I will have to see where exactly those are appearing, uh, because here we do not have it.
Yes,
I
here
just
I
have to
yes, here
go
I see a country of origin, so I saw it.
somewhere it is
It's
there.
down here, country of origin and
Hmm.
region of origin, but I don't have the code, the customs code,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
break, the
Customs
break.
is not there. Hmm.
Maybe it's in tax data. I don't know.
Tax data will not have it. It
No,
will
it's
have only
tax.
that
Okay,
expense.
it's tax.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, but the
Um,
customs codes, I don't see it.
hmm. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
fine. So Uh, that's all from my side. So you can decide and then let Naveen or anyone from Expertsoft Team know about your decision, and then probably you can plan something accordingly. Okay.
Okay, yes, and in S4 we can still do some create characteristic if we don't have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
field in the material master. I can create a characteristic to add the color, the size, something like that.
That, see, color, for color and size you do not have to. Yeah, you can, but
Mm-hmm.
just as a static field, for color and characteristics you do not
Ah,
have to do anything, because it will
okay,
be part
I
of the
have
generic
already.
articulation. Yeah,
Okay, so I have already the field color and size.
exactly. You will, as a part of generic article, you are always going to
Size
have those color and
dimension,
size.
fashion attribute, brand. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. The valuation class. And if I have bombs, because I have a finished good, I need to buy the components. So because I see that I can check the component, so I can check them here in the same
Yeah.
transaction.
Components, yes, you can. This doesn't have any components. Now, you can create bomb if you want. It will work exactly in the
Mm.
same manner. And then if you are using something like pre-packs or sales set, then you have the option to enter the components over here, and then
Okay.
it creates a header level bomb in the background.
Okay, and one last question. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
because when you create the material, you say that the most common is a single material, but there is
For
also
retail.
generic.
Yeah, for
Sorry.
retail.
Yes, for
For
retail.
only retail. Mm.
Yes, for only retail, but you have also generic
Yes, we have.
material. What is the
Yeah.
difference?
Yes. Yeah. Generics are, as I said, generics are almost exclusive for the fashion industry, meaning any organization which is both into retailing and manufacturing for fashion, or only into retailing for fashion. So these are, if you have experience in AFS, then you must recall that there was something called material grid in AFS, right? Material grid. Do you remember? Material grid concept in AFS, which is a very fundamental concept.
Yes, it's like the grid. I have one material and I have the grid. That's
Exactly.
the same
Exactly.
in IFS.
Yeah.
Okay.
So exactly. So the equivalent of material grid in S4 is this generic article, meaning let's say a product shirt. It is having 4 different colors and 4 different sizes. So in S4, we are not going to create any material grid anymore. We are going to create a generic product, generic article, which will consist of those many size combinations, and each color and size combination will correspond to a unique product code, which are known as a variant article. So the
Okay.
concept of
Yes,
material grid in S4.
yes. So I will create a generic one, and then for the variant, they will be created automatically, or I have
Yes,
to create them.
automatically.
Ah, okay. So I create just one generic
Exactly.
material, and because I choose generic material, it will create the variants automatically.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye. For
This
master data,
conference will now be recorded.
we will have to revisit the master data multiple number of times. Okay. So to begin with, master data might not sound very interesting because it will be mostly in theory. I cannot navigate to multiple number of topics from master data. So I will explain mainly from theoretical point of view, and then, as I said, we will have to revisit master data as and when we discuss the topics where master data has an impact or a controlling effect. Okay, so with that background, let me share my screen and start with the retail article master or retail uh, material master. Fine. Okay, now uh, this I already discussed briefly in the last demo session, so nothing new in here. So
Yes, but I have a question on that.
yeah, till,
When I
mm,
create the material, so I understood material type, material group, but what I have not understood last time is the material category. So here I have what is the difference between individual and generic?
yeah, individual
Single
is a
and
single product,
yes.
like a bottle of Coke and a store shelf, a bottle of Pepsi, and then the generics are dummy articles which are mainly used in fashion retailing. So let's say there is a product called shirt. Now when you say shirt, that shirt can be of different sizes and colors. So you have to further qualify that this shirt is of which color and which size. Now when we
Mm-hmm.
talk about color and size, these are basically the attributes. Okay, these are basically the attributes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now whenever there is a product which are having multiple attributes, which is so much common in fashion, then uh, if you take the combinations of those attributes like size and colors, 4 different colors, 4 different sizes, then 4 into 4, 16 combinations are possible, and each combination will represent a unique product code, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you create those product codes by single material, which you can very well do, then you are going to create 16 times the single material.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what generic material says that use a single execution method with generic article, which is basically a dummy material, and then in the background all the 16 materials will be created automatically.
Okay, so for example, if I have bags with
Mm,
the same model but different colors,
mm,
I will when I will create the material bag, I will do
mm.
generic material. I will put
Exactly.
bag, okay, and after and the system will generate several
The colors and sizes. Yeah. The bag will have attributes like color and size. These are the most two commonly attributes found in fashion industry. So whatever attributes you might want to enter, you can enter. So let me create one.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. If we can have an example with generic, because
Yeah,
I
exactly.
am in fashion. My client is
Hmm.
working on fashion, so I am interested to see the generic. If we can do an
Hmm.
example.
Yeah, definitely. That I will do right away. So first, you have to create the characteristics, meaning the qualifiers or the attributes. So, so this is attribute one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we will have another attribute. And then okay, in the previous attribute, I forgot to enter the value, but for this one, I will. Let's denote it by alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
this is size, and then I think I forgot to maintain for color. Let's put four colors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Now, as per standard SAP protocol for creating the generic, we have to create something called class.
Mm-hmm.
And then the previously created characteristics or attribute needs to be assigned. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to go to the article master creation screen to generate. Now, the moment you press enter,
Okay, so
so
when I put
mm,
generic material, I have to fill in the class and characteristic. Okay.
yes, the class type and the class.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Okay.
press enter. and enter the color.
Okay. So I will tell him to the system, okay, you will create me this one in blue, red, etc. And all the stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. D'accord. Okay.
Now, now in the next screen, you will get to select which combinations actually you want to create. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can select all the combinations, or you may not choose for few of them for which you are not very sure of at this moment, and then at a later point you can always come back and create those by checking on the particular combination.
Mm,
Okay. So now this means that the system is going to create these 16 combinations of color sensor.
mm.
Okay. Blue, small, medium, large, extra large, all these things. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this classification is not the same hierarchy than the material group.
Hmm. Material group is independent of all these things. Material
Okay.
group is not related to any of these things at all.
But we can assign an hierarchy on that.
Yes. So the generic material creation can happen to any material group or any hierarchy. There is no control or no dependency as such with
Mhm.
material group or with generic article.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
so I can have only material group that I put on the beginning, but it's not mandatory to assign it to an hierarchy, but I can create a generic
Yes.
material
Yes.
by
Exactly.
creating a classification that I put
Mm.
on the creation. And I saw that you have put a reference material. The reference material that you have put is just to copy
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Just to copy. Yeah. Just to copy. It
Okay.
doesn't have any significance in the overall scheme of things. So
Okay, and
uh,
and and where I can see all the variants that the system
it
creates.
it has not created as of now. We have to save the data and then only it will create.
Ah, okay, d'accord.
So you have to wait till that time.
Mhm.
Ah, this I don't want. Okay, now save this. Ah, in the generic, I do not have this item category group, so that is why it is being asked for each and every variant. See, the top number is changing. These are the variants which are getting created every time I am entering this item category and saving. So this is not ideal. So actually, let me about this session and then let me maintain from the reference. It is not finding the data. So let me put it in the reference so that it can copy. Ah, it is there in the reference, but still it is not copied. Okay, fine. Me No, still I cannot avoid. 16 times I have to repeat this. If I have a generic article as a reference, then this problem wouldn't have come. But I don't have a generic article here in this system as of
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So that is why.
Yes, because I want to see
Yeah, you will see now. You will
create.
see now.
Yes.
Yes. Once I am done with this, I was trying to avoid it, but since it is not avoidable. Okay, so another 2 to go 14, 15 and 16. One, one. Hmm. So hopefully now the variants will be created unless I get some other data to fill up in the master data. So let's see. The system is a bit slow. Taking a lot of time. See, the generic material 354, 3456 will be created with this variant.
Okay.
So if you go to the change or display mode, either of them, go to the basic data, okay, and then if you go to the variants tab, and then if you go to the variant number, you will find the article codes or product numbers of the variants for each and every color and
Okay.
size combination that you selected initially.
So each one have his number.
Exactly. So the numbering, pattern is the generic material followed by a suffix of 001,
Okay.
2002,
But in my
003.
stock, I will follow each one.
Yes, only the variant,
Only the
meaning this
variant.
345.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So if you go to any of these variants, then you will find something very convenient, which is the
Yes, I want
description of
to
the
see
variant.
where I can see the color, etc.
Here it will come here.
Ah,
Okay,
okay. They put it in the
exactly.
name of
Description. Yes.
okay. Okay. It doesn't put it as the characteristic
It will put as a characteristics, not here actually.
in the
Okay,
classification. It doesn't put it or
no. If you create a purchase order or any other, if you create any PO or if you create any other document with this material, then in the
Mhm.
material overview we will see the characteristics, meaning
Okay, but
color
here
blue, but not
but,
here, not here.
but here in the classification is empty.
Yes,
Okay.
okay. Here you do not
Okay.
find it.
And if the hierarchy of material group, if I add it, I can put characteristic, or it doesn't make sense to have it.
You can do it, but it doesn't have any purpose. I mean, you can create a material. I mean, you can create a characteristics, and then as a statistical usage, you can make it available here. But it is a redundant activity. I mean, you
Okay,
do
so
not
it doesn't
actually
make
need it.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
here I
it
have
doesn't
it
make a lot
in
of sense.
the description, and you say that in the sales order and the
Purchase
purchase
order.
order, I
Yeah,
can have the characteristic.
yeah, exactly. Let me show you one. Okay. Hmm. There are some sites created. Uh, put this one. So this listing is a separate topic which we will have to cover, and then we will discuss about it. But the important point to note here is listing is mandatory. What is the supplier I am using? Let's check. This only responds with company code 1716. That is this, mm, it's not different. Okay, someone might have changed. No, this is fine. Um, channel. Oh, one second. One, zero. Oh, it's changing the changing the different of two one problem. Hmm. So this is what I was referring. So if you
So if you put in the purchase order the generic material, it tell you
exactly.
to choose the which one.
So what I did, I entered the
Ah,
generic
okay.
and the
I
total
put
quantity.
only.
So
Okay. I understand. You put only the generic material, but you can split the quantity here, and then it accumulates in the same line.
yeah,
Okay.
now we will
But
see.
then
Now we
in
will
the
see.
inbound delivery.
Yeah. So now there is a
Okay.
listing error. there is a listing error, but if you ignore that,
ouais.
then this
Okay,
is how
trop
it
bien.
will come.
Okay.
And here you will get the description, but if you go to the item level, you will get a variant tab.
Mhm.
And then in that variant tab of the generic, the first item, you will find this characteristics matrix.
Mhm.
Okay.
Très bien. Okay, clear. Okay. So I can do pricing on the generic because I have the same price, and then okay.
Yeah.
And all the if I have a purchase info record, I do it only on the generic one.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one question. If I have an external codification for my material
Mm.
because the client wants an external one, and he wants to create a generic material. How the system will codify the variants?
External number for the variant,
Yes,
right?
yes.
That will be a developer. Standard SAP doesn't support it, and neither there is any configuration to, I mean, to influence it. So this
Okay.
numbering 001, 002, that's standard SAP, and there is no configuration control for it. So
Mm-hmm.
the only process that you can change the standard behavior is via a enhancement. So there is a exit, I believe, which is available through which you can do it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. Now we will see some other materials. Okay, so there are some packed items, and together these cell set, prepack, and display, these are known as structured articles. So why structured articles? So these are also known as the retail bill of materials, retail or fashion bill of materials. So let us talk about the first one, which is cell set. So cell set articles are not common in fashion. So if you are interested only in fashion retailing or fashion, then cell set is not an example that you will
Mm-hmm.
ever find.
Okay.
Cell set is mainly for your grocery and retailing, and then you will find it also in tools and machinery retailing, FMCG retailing, and quite a number of other retail sectors.
Mm-hmm.
But in fashion, you will never find sales set or display. So sales set and display are basically products which are packed in a single box. Two single articles packed in a single box. For example, a particular brand of hair shampoo and hair conditioner packed in a single box is treated as a sales set or
Mm-hmm.
display. Now there is a difference between sales set and display. So sales set is created at the store on ad hoc basis. It is not a planned material, and its life cycle starts at the store and ends at the store. However, displays are planned products, meaning the vendor will inform in advance that they are going to send a packed item, and then a purchase order will be created for the display material. Okay, so this is how the display and cell sets are created. So let me create one for you, although it might not be relevant for you at all. Okay, so the only thing that we have to do here is we have to add the components. Now these components would be single articles, previously created single articles like shampoo and conditioner would be couple of examples. Cell set. So we'll have to go to the components and we will have to add already existing single articles. Now we can add something which is already available. Okay. Now, how does the actual business process happen? Let's say uh, there is a particular brand of shampoo and a conditioner which are getting sold as single articles like 3269 and 3270. These are sold as single items at the store. Now, during the closure of the month, the store manager gets an intimation that they have to increase their sale. And in an effort to increase their sale, this is a kind of a promo effort which the store manager will initiate, meaning uh, the store associates will be asked to take out 50 pieces each of 3269 and 3270 from their existing inventory and pack in 50 boxes, and then that box is sold as a sell set combo pack at a slightly reduced sales price than the sum of the individual sales prices of these two items. Okay, so this is the business process behind sell set. And then let's say after the month end, out of the 50 boxes of sell set, 20 remains unsold. So then again, those 20 will be unpacked and then they will be returned to the existing inventory of the single article of 3269 and 3270. Okay,
Okay.
but not relevant for,
Fashion,
as I
yes.
said, fashion.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I did a mistake, which is sell set articles are never procured from vendor. So I couldn't have entered the vendor in the initial screen. So let me go back and do the correction. So ideally, there should be no procurement for the sell set, because sell sets are never
Mm-hmm.
procured externally. They are created on ad hoc basis at the store. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
No purchase order will be ever raised. Hmm. So this material is created. Cell set material is created. Now display. Display is exactly similar to cell set. The only difference is display articles are procured from the vendor, whereas cell sets are not. Okay. So the business scenario is vendor is supplying product A and product B separately as single items. Now, as a short-term promo offer, the vendor informs the retailer in advance that a combined pack, which is known as display, will be on offer for the retailer to buy in the next quarter first weeks. If they opt for that offer, then that combined pack will be available to them at a slightly lesser cost price than the sum of the individual cost prices of A and B. Okay. So if a retailer agrees to that proposal, then they will create a display article in their system. Okay. Now, from the article creation point of view, there is no difference between cell set and display. Exactly same. There is nothing which is different.
So the display, it's always the from many articles inside, or it can be just one display.
Display would, I mean, technically it can have multiple components. Here I am including only two, but it can have,
Yes,
let's say, three or
but
four single
but
articles.
I can have only one article display, not.
Yeah, this is the no. It depends on the contractual agreement with the vendor, or what the vendor wishes to do. Because from retailers and display articles are never initiated by its own. So it is only uh, a proposal which comes from the vendor, and then if the retailer agrees to that proposal, then one or more display articles will be created with two or more components inside it.
Mm, okay.
Okay. And then display articles will always be procured from the vendor, unlike sales set, which are for internal usage only. Now pre-pack. These are exclusively for fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and these are also procured externally from the vendor.
Mm-hmm. And what is pre-pack?
Pre-packs are packed items containing only fashion articles, meaning only variants of generic art, meaning a pack of t-shirts of different colors and sizes, or a family pack, meaning different same. It can be also a pack of different colors, same sizes. Okay, so if you cannot add a single article as a component, you cannot add. Okay, the moment you try to add, like this one 3270, I think is one of them, it will give you an error message saying that the material category 00 of material 32070 is not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to mandatorily use something from the generic variant list. So what is the 456? I think this is the one I created. 3456. This will be accepted. Any variant article will be accepted.
Okay, so the pre-pack, it's the combination, it's a group of different variants.
Exactly. And it can be variants from different generic also. Meaning a t-shirt can be combined with a trouser. As long as it is a variant article, system doesn't check if the variants belong to the same generic or not.
Okay, and what is the purpose of that? Is that we can
No, I
sell
mean,
the
it's
pre-pack or
no, that is not having any specific business purpose. I just mentioned about the technical possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but this technical possibility, I can use it in which business case?
Uh, Business case meaning, I mean, if you are again familiar with the AFS concept, in AFS
Mm-hmm.
we have something called as assortment. In AFS, we have
Yes.
something called assortment. The corresponding entity in S4HANA is this prepack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is it is a separate business offering, as I said, like a family pack T-shirt. So it can be bought by a family who finds it useful for them. Might be four T-shirts of same color and different sizes, which
Mm-hmm.
probably suits some of the families.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, parents and two kids, something like that. Or it might be a little bit more attractive when the smaller sizes for the children are of some attractive colors like red or purple, something like that. It
Mm-hmm.
comes from specific business decision, and then the procurement has to be also aligned from the vendor, because anyway the vendor, whoever supplies this pre-pack, they will also have a plan so that they can increase their sales um, by attracting more buy from the retailer. So they will have those thought process in mind in terms of marketing strategies. Okay, so it is not
Mm-hmm.
mandatory that the prepacks has to be used. It's just a possibility that exists in the
Yes.
system. Now it is up to
Okay.
the retailer to leverage it or not. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So this is pre-pack. So this is about the article master. Now we will talk
Mm-hmm.
about the hierarchy. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the demo session, I mentioned about two hierarchies. One is more common and very often used, which is known as material group hierarchy. And
Mm-hmm.
then there is a parallel hierarchy, which is known as article hierarchy. whose use case is very, very less in the current era. Okay. So what is material group hierarchy? Material group hierarchy is again arising out of specific business need in terms of reporting. Now, material group is already providing a higher level for the reporting purpose. So, products with similar attributes can be grouped under one particular material group. Okay, but if the number of products in the retailer is having a excessively high number, like 100,000, 200,000, then even with material group it becomes too much difficult to manage, because 200,000 products will have again 20,000 material group products. So another level above it is required, and then you can continue grouping the levels, superior levels, one under the other, and that kind of hierarchical arrangement is known as material group hierarchy, and there is no limit to them. So you can have a inverted pyramid like structure. At the top, the retail organization will be there, and then there can be n number of levels under it, and then each of the levels can in turn have n number of levels under it, and in this way can continue up to 10, 12, 15, 16, no specific limit. And this all is because of convenient reporting for the business. Now let us do one particular very simple one-dimensional cycle. Okay, so let me draw one particular one-dimensional simple hierarchical arrangement. So retail organization is at the top, or fashion organization, whatever it is. Then at the second level it is food, and then non-food, and then food. Now under non-food we can have like so many things like fashion, and then we can have books, we can have furniture, and so on. Now under fashion we can have so many possibilities are there. Fashion, we can have, let's say, um, men's and women's, or let's say ladies, and then kids. Then within men's we can have so many variety of things. And within ladies there will be infinite number of things, I believe. So if you want, you can arrange them and have as many number of levels as you want. Like under men's we can have shirt, trouser, whatever, and then under shirt we can further have something like imported shirts, and then under imported shirts we can have the material group, like let's say cotton shirts, and then we have the actual product, which is let's say particular brand, arrow shirt, white, medium, or let's say 42, something like this. Okay, so in this way this is the merchandise category. This is merchandise category hierarchy level 1. Sorry, it will be other way around. This will be 1, level 1. This will be level 2. This will be level 3. This will be level 4. This will be level 5. This will be level 6, and then the merchandise category. This is a very simple demonstration I have background, but it can have many number of levels, sub-levels, one under the other. So how to set up in the system? So I will set up only one, let's say I will set up only one row in one level under each of the rows, starting with this one. Maybe I will. So this is the first level. We have to create the levels individually first, and then we have to assign one under the other. So the first step is creating them. So the transaction code for creating is forgot the transaction code. Go to the CLWM. Create this level. Create this one, and then this already exists. Ah, this is also existing. Hmm.
So this is the hierarchy assigned to the material group, right?
Yeah, I will come to that. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We'll do that assignment. Just wait for me to complete this hierarchical management, and then do it at the end.
And this hierarchy, so what I understood though, so it makes sense to use it for single products, but
Yes.
for variants, for generic variants, it doesn't make sense. No,
No. In generic variant also you can use it. I will show you the complete cycle. So
I can
now I
use it.
have,
Okay.
yeah. I have created all the levels 1 to 6, and then
Okay.
I will assign one under the other. So that transaction is CLW1. So my first level is this one. So I assign it, then under this we assign this, then now we will create this material group.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, uh, okay. Maybe take this one. And then we will assign the lowest level of the hierarchy here. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
then the entire level will be automatically written.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So save. Okay. Now let me create a generic article.
Okay.
Okay. Let us create a generic one. And uh, okay. these. Uh, it does not take so many color and sizes. Keep it simple. Or if I want, I can take everything. Point is not creation of the generic, but to show you some useful details. Let's select couple of sizes for each of the colors.
Mm.
Ah, see, I'm out of
Item category.
part of this. Ah, copied this, but I don't know.
But normally, if you don't have this error on the item category, it creates automatically the variant.
Yeah,
You don't have to put the item category manually.
no, I don't have to here.
Mhm.
It should be copied, or
Mhm.
rather, this item category group can automatically be determined based on material type. Ah, so now these variants has been created,
Mhm.
which we can check as we did last time.
Mhm.
And now variant number. And now we can see this entire thing
Mhm.
in WGUS. Okay.
Mhm.
So put any of the material. Material is not being accepted. Let us put the last level or the first level. Hmm, hmm. So you will find this entire information
Mhm.
along with the hierarchy.
Okay, so do you mean what I understood is that the hierarchy that I put so I will not put color, size, etc. But I will put something like the other thing that
Hmm,
are more to group the materials. Okay.
hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So in the next session, we will discuss about the article hierarchy, and then we will look into the stores and disease. Okay. So that's it for today. So we will
Okay.
continue on Monday.
Okay. We will continue Monday, and I will have the yes, I have the link of the training. Yes. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
So I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.